power of solitude. She embraces solitude without fear. Solitude is not loneliness. To the Sigma female, it is sacred space. While many fear being alone, imagining silence as a void filled with uncertainty, she understands that it is in solitude that the soul breathes most freely. The world constantly pressures people to be connected, to seek validation from social media, from peers, from constant interaction. But the Sigma female rejects this dependency. She views solitude not as isolation, but as liberation. In these quiet moments away from external noise, she reconnects with her inner self. She reflects, plans, and heals in her own company. Unlike others who might see alone time as a punishment, she treats it as a precious gift. It's in these moments she finds clarity of thought, creativity, and emotional renewal. The Sigma female knows that growth often happens in silence. She understands the old Stoic belief that he who is brave is free, and bravery includes the courage to be alone with one's thoughts. Her solitude is not filled with self-pity or restlessness. Instead, it is filled with purpose. Whether she is reading, writing, meditating, or simply enjoying the stillness, she uses this time to nurture her inner world, knowing that it is the foundation for all outer success. The Sigma female chooses solitude as a way to maintain sovereignty over her life. She does not need constant companionship to feel valued, for her sense of self-worth is cultivated from within. Emotional alchemy. She practices emotional self-mastery. Emotions are natural, but mastery over them is what separates the Sigma female from the crowd. She feels deeply. This is her human nature. But she does not allow her emotions to govern her actions or decisions. In a world where emotional outbursts are often normalized and even glorified, she chooses the path of the Stoic, control over chaos. She knows that reacting impulsively to situations gives away her power, so she pauses, she breathes, she reflects before responding. Stoic wisdom teaches that we cannot control external events, but we can control our response to them. This philosophy is embedded in her very being. When faced with provocation, she does not lash out. When confronted with failure, she does not spiral into despair. Instead, she examines her feelings with curiosity and calm detachment, choosing her actions based on wisdom rather than emotional turbulence. This emotional discipline does not mean she is cold or detached. On the contrary, she feels passion, love, pain, and joy just as deeply as anyone else, perhaps even more so. The difference lies in her ability to transform these emotions into strength and clarity. She does not suppress her feelings. She understands them, learns from them, and channels them constructively. By mastering her emotions, the Sigma female becomes unshakable. She becomes the calm in the storm, the lighthouse in the fog. Her emotional alchemy allows her to turn moments of potential weakness into profound sources of power. Depth over surface. She values depth over surface. In a world that often glorifies the superficial, quick fame, shallow beauty, fleeting attention, the Sigma female stands apart by valuing depth over surface. She craves meaningful conversations, profound connections, and experiences that enrich her soul, not just her social status. She is not easily impressed by appearances, flashy displays, or empty words. Instead, she seeks what lies beneath. When she meets people, she listens attentively, searching for sincerity and authenticity beneath the surface-level exchanges. She asks deeper questions, not out of mere curiosity, but because she genuinely desires to understand the essence of a person. This tendency extends to every aspect of her life. In her work, she dives deep into her craft, honing her skills and pushing past mediocrity. In her personal development, she reads, studies, and contemplates life's bigger questions, refusing to settle for superficial understanding. The Sigma female views life as a vast ocean rather than a shallow pond. She is willing to dive into the depths, even if it means facing discomfort or uncertainty. For her, depth brings richness, meaning, and fulfillment that fleeting pleasures cannot match. By valuing depth over surface, she not only cultivates wisdom, but also filters her relationships. Only those willing to explore the depths with her become part of her inner circle, ensuring that her life is filled with genuine connections and profound experiences. Leading by quiet example, she leads without commanding. Leadership is often misunderstood as loud declarations, dominance, or control over others. But the Sigma female leads differently. Her leadership is quiet yet powerful, subtle yet deeply influential. She leads by example rather than by command. Her integrity, discipline, and self-mastery naturally inspire those around her. People watch how she handles adversity, how she treats others with respect, and how she carries herself with dignity. Without demanding attention, she earns admiration. She understands that true leadership is not about controlling people, but about empowering them. She does not seek followers for the sake of ego. Instead, she inspires others to become leaders themselves. Her presence encourages self-reflection and growth in those around her. Stoic philosophy teaches that the best leaders are those who govern themselves first. The Sigma female embodies this principle. Her self-discipline and emotional intelligence make her a role model. She does not preach about self-improvement. She lives it daily. In professional settings, she may not always hold the highest title, but her influence extends far beyond formal authority. Her ideas are respected, her decisions trusted, and her counsel sought after. In her personal life, her family and friends turn to her for guidance, knowing she will offer thoughtful and honest insight. By leading through quiet example, the Sigma female proves that true power does not shout. It whispers with confidence and resonates deeply. Free from validation, she detaches from external validation. The Sigma female walks a path of self-validation. She does not seek approval from the crowd, nor does she measure her worth by the applause of others. Her sense of value comes from within, rooted in her principles, her progress, and her personal growth. In a society obsessed with likes, followers, and external recognition, this detachment makes her stand out. She understands that chasing validation is a never-ending race that leaves the soul exhausted and unfulfilled. Instead, she sets her own standards of success and quietly works to meet them, regardless of whether anyone is watching. This mindset frees her from the fear of criticism. She accepts feedback with an open mind but does not allow negative opinions to derail her. Equally, she does not become complacent when praised. Compliments and criticisms are both treated with the same measured detachment. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control and to release attachment to external outcomes. The Sigma female lives by this wisdom. She understands that while she cannot control others' perceptions, she can control her actions, her choices, and her reactions. By detaching from external validation, she lives authentically. She dares to follow unconventional paths, pursue her passions, and stand firm in her values, even when they go against the tide. This inner freedom makes her unstoppable, for her motivation is not swayed by the ever-changing winds of public opinion. Clarity of purpose. She knows her purpose and lives by it. The Sigma female does not drift aimlessly through life. She moves with intention, guided by a clear sense of purpose that serves as her internal compass. While others may seek direction from external trends, popular opinions, or societal expectations, she forges her own path, one aligned with her deeper values and aspirations. This purpose is not necessarily tied to conventional success. It may not be about wealth, fame, or status. For the Sigma female, it could be creative mastery, spiritual growth, meaningful contribution, or simply living authentically. Whatever it is, it resonates deeply with her core. Her clarity of purpose shields her from distraction. She does not scatter her energy chasing every opportunity or following the crowd. Instead, she focuses on what truly matters to her, channeling her time and resources into pursuits that nourish her soul and move her closer to her goals. The Stoics believed that understanding one's purpose was essential for a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less, or rather, do what's essential." The Sigma female embodies this wisdom. She simplifies her life by aligning her actions with her purpose, creating a sense of inner peace even amidst external chaos. This clarity also grants her resilience. When setbacks arise, as they inevitably do, she does not waver. Her purpose anchors her, reminding her of why she started and strengthening her resolve to persevere. She understands that purpose is not a destination, but a guiding star, illuminating her journey day by day. Strategic silence. She understands the power of silence. In a world that fears silence and rushes to fill every quiet moment with noise, the Sigma female wields silence as a strategic tool. She does not speak to fill space. She speaks to add value. When she listens fully, not simply waiting for her turn to talk, but absorbing the depth of what is being said. Her silence is not awkward, it is powerful. It commands attention, creates anticipation, and allows her to observe more than she reveals. In conversations, she often lets others expose their intentions first, understanding that people reveal their true selves in their eagerness to fill silence. The Stoic philosophers deeply respected the power of measured speech. Epictetus advised, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." The Sigma female lives by this principle, choosing her words carefully and allowing her actions to speak louder than verbal boasts. In conflict, her silence is a shield. She resists the urge to respond impulsively, knowing that silence can diffuse tension more effectively than hastily chosen words. Her quiet demeanor gives her time to process, to understand the situation fully before making a deliberate move. Moreover, her silence creates space for reflection. It enables her to tap into her intuition and hear the subtle whispers of her own wisdom. In embracing strategic silence, the Sigma female maintains control over her narrative, ensuring that her voice, when it is heard, carries weight and purpose. Selective socialization. She chooses her circle wisely. Unlike those who fear missing out or feel compelled to maintain large social networks, the Sigma female is profoundly selective about the company she keeps. She understands that the quality of her relationships far outweighs the quantity. Her time and energy are precious, and she guards them fiercely. Her social circle is small but rich with depth, trust, and authenticity. She surrounds herself with people who challenge her to grow, who respect her boundaries, and who engage in meaningful conversations rather than superficial chatter. She does not entertain drama, gossip, or shallow interactions. This selectiveness does not stem from arrogance, but from wisdom. The Sigma female knows that we become like the people we spend the most time with. By curating her relationships, she cultivates an environment that nurtures her aspirations and preserves her peace of mind. In alignment with Stoic teachings, she recognizes that it is better to be alone than in poor company. She does not fear solitude, for it provides the clarity and freedom to focus on her goals. When she does choose to engage socially, she does so with intention, investing deeply in the relationships that truly matter. Her selectiveness also earns her respect. People quickly realize that her attention is not given lightly, making it all the more valuable. By choosing her circle wisely, the Sigma female ensures that her life is enriched by connections that are genuine, uplifting, and aligned with her values. Composed under pressure, she stays calm in chaos. Where others see crisis, the Sigma female sees opportunity. While chaos rattles many, she remains composed, steady as a mountain amid the storm. Her calm demeanor is not born of apathy, but of profound inner strength and self-mastery. She understands that panic clouds judgment and rash actions often lead to regret. Instead, she steps back, assesses the situation with clarity, and responds with deliberate precision. Her Stoic mindset equips her with the resilience to remain unshaken, even when circumstances spiral beyond control. The Stoics taught that external events are beyond our control, but our response is ours alone. The Sigma female embodies this philosophy. Whether facing professional setbacks, personal betrayals, or unforeseen challenges, she refuses to be a victim of circumstance. Her calmness in chaos is contagious. People around her look to her for guidance, drawing strength from her steady presence. Without needing to assert dominance, she naturally becomes a pillar of stability, offering perspective and direction when it is most needed. Furthermore, this composure allows her to see solutions where others see only problems. Her mind remains clear, open to creative strategies and bold decisions. She thrives in environments that test her limits, knowing that adversity sharpens her abilities and reveals her true power. Intellectual sovereignty, she thinks independently. The Sigma female values independent thought above conformity. In an age where groupthink dominates and popular opinion often replaces personal reflection, she dares to question, to challenge, and to think critically for herself. She does not adopt beliefs simply because they are widespread. Instead, she examines ideas from multiple perspectives, testing them against her own reasoning and principles. Her intellectual independence shields her from manipulation, propaganda, and the subtle pressures to conform. The Stoics cherished rationality as the highest human virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." The Sigma female lives by this wisdom, curating her mental landscape with care. She reads broadly, engages with diverse viewpoints, and welcomes intellectual challenges as opportunities for growth. Her independent thinking often sets her apart, sometimes making her seem unconventional or misunderstood. Yet she is undeterred. She does not seek approval for her beliefs, nor does she fear standing alone if her convictions demand it. This sovereignty of thought empowers her to make authentic choices, unbound by societal expectations. She crafts a life that reflects her true self, not a life dictated by trends or external pressures. In doing so, she embodies the very essence of freedom, the freedom to think, to choose, and to live on her own terms. Calculated risk-taking. She takes risks, but wisely. The Sigma female is no stranger to risk. However, she does not leap blindly into the unknown. She takes calculated risks, weighing potential outcomes with the sharp eye of both a strategist and a realist. She understands that growth lies beyond the comfort zone, but recklessness leads to ruin. Before making a bold move, she assesses the terrain, the benefits, the dangers, the likelihood of success. Once she commits, she does so fully, accepting both the rewards and the consequences with equanimity. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control and to accept what lies beyond it. The Sigma female applies this wisdom when facing risks. She controls her preparation, her mindset, and her choices, but she does not waste energy fearing outcomes beyond her influence. Her willingness to take risks sets her apart from those paralyzed by fear. She understands that a life lived too safely becomes stagnant. She would rather face challenges and learn from failure than live in the regret of never having tried. This balance between courage and caution empowers her to achieve extraordinary things. While others hesitate, she steps forward. Not recklessly, but with resolve born from thoughtful preparation. Her life becomes a series of intentional adventures, each risk a step toward her evolving vision. Boundary setting. She sets boundaries without guilt. Boundaries are not walls to the Sigma female. They are bridges to self-respect and healthy relationships. She understands the importance of clearly defining her limits, not as a defensive posture, but as an affirmation of her worth. She says no without guilt when something infringes upon her values, time, or well-being. She communicates her needs firmly but respectfully, expecting others to honor them as she does in return. She does not overextend herself to please others, nor does she tolerate disrespect disguised as familiarity. The Stoics valued self-discipline and the protection of one's inner peace. The Sigma female echoes this by ensuring that her environment supports her well-being. She curates her commitments, relationships, and surroundings with intentionality. By setting clear boundaries, she preserves her energy for the people and projects that truly matter. She avoids the emotional exhaustion that comes from constant people-pleasing, maintaining a sense of balance and self-control in her life. Her boundaries also educate others on how to treat her. She does not need to demand respect loudly. Her quiet firmness teaches it naturally. In doing so, she models for others the art of living with dignity and self-honor. Intellectual curiosity. She pursues knowledge relentlessly. The Sigma female is never complacent with what she knows today. Her mind is a garden, and she cultivates it daily with fresh ideas, new perspectives, and thoughtful reflection. She reads not to impress, but to understand. She asks questions not to challenge others, but to grow wiser herself. While some chase fleeting distractions, the Sigma female seeks depth. She hungers for conversations that stimulate her intellect, books that challenge her assumptions, and experiences that expand her worldview. Whether it's philosophy, science, art, or human behavior, she immerses herself fully. Stoicism itself is a lifelong study. Epictetus taught that we must always strive to become better thinkers, better people. The Sigma female embodies this, seeing learning as not just an academic pursuit, but a moral one. To her, wisdom is not an end goal, it is a way of life. This relentless curiosity empowers her to adapt swiftly to change. New challenges do not intimidate her, they intrigue her. She faces uncertainty with a learner's mindset, knowing that every moment carries the potential for discovery. Through her intellectual curiosity, she evolves constantly, staying mentally agile and resilient in a rapidly changing world. Minimalism in relationships. She chooses quality over quantity. In her relationships, the Sigma female values depth over breadth. She does not collect acquaintances like trophies, nor does she fear solitude between connections. She prefers a few profound loyal bonds over a crowded room of shallow interactions. While others may fear missing out, she finds peace in selective companionship. She understands that energy is finite, and she invests it wisely in people who nourish her spirit, challenge her mind, and respect her autonomy. This minimalism is not coldness, it is clarity. She knows that authentic relationships require attention and care. By limiting her circle, she ensures that she can give her best self to the people who matter most. The Stoics emphasized meaningful connections grounded in virtue. Seneca once said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." The Sigma female lives by this creed, seeking friendships that are rooted in mutual growth and genuine affection. Her relationships are sanctuaries, not battlefields. She avoids toxic entanglements, drama, and performative alliances. She treasures sincerity and loyalty, knowing that a small, genuine circle is worth infinitely more than a wide but hollow network. Silent confidence. She lets her actions speak louder than words. The Sigma female carries an aura of quiet confidence. She does not boast about her abilities or seek constant validation. Instead, she allows her actions, decisions, and the quality of her life to testify to her strength. While others may feel the need to announce their worth, she remains composed. She understands that true confidence does not require an audience. Her achievements are not paraded for approval. They are personal milestones, quietly celebrated within. Stoicism teaches us to master the ego and let virtue guide our reputation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time talking about what a good man should be. Be one." The Sigma female embodies this principle. She focuses on living well rather than appearing impressive. Her silent confidence can be disarming. People notice her presence not because she demands attention, but because her grounded energy commands respect. She walks into a room with quiet assurance, comfortable in her own skin, needing no external spotlight to validate her worth. This understated power not only sets her apart, but also inspires others to seek the same inner calm. She proves that true strength is serene, not loud. Embracing solitude, she finds power in her own company. Unlike many who fear being alone, the Sigma female finds nourishment in solitude. Time spent with herself is not a void to be filled, but a sanctuary where she recharges, reflects, and realigns with her purpose. In solitude, she listens to the whispers of her soul. She processes her experiences, clarifies her goals, and nurtures her creativity. Far from feeling lonely, she feels deeply connected to her inner world. Stoic philosophers cherish solitude as a means to cultivate inner peace. Seneca advised, "Withdraw into yourself as far as you can." The Sigma female naturally gravitates toward this wisdom. She understands that true clarity arises not amidst noise, but in stillness. Solitude empowers her to resist the pull of conformity. Away from external influences, she hones her unique voice and strengthens her resolve. It is in these quiet moments that she plans her next moves with precision and intention. By embracing solitude, she builds a fortress of self-reliance and creativity. She emerges from her time alone refreshed, focused, and ready to face the world with renewed vigor. Stoic gratitude. She finds contentment in the present moment. Gratitude is not a fleeting feeling for the Sigma female. It is a daily practice deeply embedded in her worldview. She recognizes that life, in all its complexity, is a series of fleeting moments worthy of appreciation. While others chase what they lack, she treasures what she has. She does not take her health, her freedom, or her experiences for granted. She understands that abundance is found not in accumulation, but in appreciation. The Stoic practice of negative visualization, imagining life without certain blessings to cultivate gratitude for them, resonates deeply with her. She contemplates the impermanence of all things, which sharpens her appreciation for the present. Her gratitude is quiet but profound. It fuels her resilience, helping her to endure hardships with grace. Even in difficult times, she finds fragments of beauty, a lesson learned, a moment of peace, a small victory. Through her Stoic gratitude, she lives a life of contentment. She recognizes that happiness is not a destination to be chased, but a way of seeing the world, moment by precious moment. Unapologetic self-definition. She writes her own story. Above all, the Sigma female lives by her own script. She refuses to let society, culture, or even well-meaning loved ones dictate the terms of her existence. She is the author of her life story, unapologetic about the path she chooses. She understands that life is too short to live by someone else's rules. While others may hesitate, fearing judgment or failure, she moves forward with conviction. Her decisions are not made to fit a mold, but to express her truest self. The Stoics taught that freedom comes from living in accordance with one's nature. The Sigma female embodies this fully. She is not swayed by trends or trapped by convention. She defines success on her own terms, whether it means a quiet life of contemplation or bold adventures that defy expectation. She is not reckless with her freedom. She is reverent. She honors her autonomy by living with integrity and purpose, knowing that the story she writes today becomes the legacy she leaves behind. Emotional alchemy. She transforms pain into power. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. The Sigma female knows this truth intimately. She does not avoid hardship, she alchemizes it. Where others see emotional turmoil as a dead end, she sees raw material for growth and transformation. When heartbreak strikes or failure looms, she doesn't drown in despair. Instead, she quietly processes her emotions, extracts wisdom, and channels the energy into creative or purposeful outlets. Pain becomes fuel. Setbacks become stepping stones. Like the Stoics who taught that obstacles are opportunities in disguise, she reframes adversity to her advantage. She embraces the philosophy of amor fati, the love of fate, welcoming life's challenges as essential chapters of her journey. Through emotional alchemy, she not only survives the storms of life, but emerges from them stronger, wiser, and more radiant. Her unapologetic self-definition empowers her to live a life of authenticity and fulfillment. She proves every day that the greatest power lies in owning your truth and living it fearlessly. Energetic boundaries. She protects her peace relentlessly. The Sigma female guards her energy like a precious treasure. She knows that every conversation, every environment, every relationship either nourishes her spirit or depletes it, and she has no hesitation in setting firm boundaries to protect her well-being. This is not about hostility, it is about preservation. She is deeply aware of how emotional contagion works, how negativity spreads like wildfire. So she draws clear lines, excusing herself from toxic environments and refusing to entertain drama. Her boundaries are not aggressive but assertive. She communicates them calmly, confidently, and consistently. Others may test them, but she holds firm, understanding that saying no to what drains her is saying yes to her purpose. As Epictetus taught, keep your will in harmony with nature. And part of nature is self-preservation. By protecting her peace, the Sigma female maintains her inner sanctuary, keeping her focus sharp and her spirit unclouded. Living by principles, not impulses. She chooses wisdom over whim. In a world ruled by instant gratification, the Sigma female is a rare embodiment of restraint. She does not act on fleeting emotions or passing desires. Instead, she filters her choices through the lens of her principles. Before reacting to provocation, she pauses. Before making major decisions, she reflects. She understands that principles anchor her in turbulent times, guiding her steadily when emotions threaten to sweep her away. This disciplined approach earns her respect. Others see her as steady and trustworthy because she is not swayed by moods or circumstances. Her actions reflect her values consistently. As the Stoics taught, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. The Sigma female embodies this ethic daily, living not for the moment, but for the legacy she is building. Selective vulnerability, she opens up only to the worthy. The Sigma female understands the power of vulnerability, but she does not bare her soul indiscriminately. She knows that vulnerability is a sacred offering, not a public display. She chooses carefully when, where, and with whom she shares her inner world. With trusted allies, she reveals her authentic self, forging deep, meaningful connections. But with strangers or manipulators, she maintains graceful reserve. This discernment protects her from emotional harm while still allowing her to experience the profound beauty of human connection. The Stoics practiced epache, the suspension of judgment, and the Sigma female applies this to emotional sharing. She observes others patiently before inviting them into her inner sanctum. Through selective vulnerability, she maintains both her strength and her humanity, walking the delicate balance between openness and self-protection. Subtle charisma, she attracts without chasing. The Sigma female has a magnetic presence, but it is never forced or performative. Her allure comes from her authenticity, her quiet confidence, and the depth she carries within. She does not chase attention. She attracts it naturally by embodying her values and living authentically. People are drawn to her energy, sensing that she possesses something rare, self-possession. Her subtle charisma is a product of her inner harmony. Like the Stoic sage, she exudes calm, self-assured energy that puts others at ease and sparks curiosity. Rather than striving to impress, she focuses on being fully present. In her presence, people feel seen and heard, which is the most powerful form of influence there is. Unshakable integrity. She lives in alignment with her values. For the Sigma female, integrity is non-negotiable. She lives in harmony with her moral compass, refusing to compromise her values for convenience, approval, or short-term gain. Her word is her bond. She does not make promises lightly, and when she commits, she follows through. This unwavering integrity earns her deep respect from those who recognize her consistency. The Stoics taught that virtue is the highest good, and the Sigma female embraces this fully. She measures success not by external rewards, but by her ability to remain true to herself in every circumstance.